All right, pick number 21. We have a trade. AFC. Patriots are trading down. Chiefs are coming up. And they come up to get cornerback Trent McDuffie. So the Chiefs come from 29 to 21. And the Patriots receive 29, 94, and 121. Old school Bill Belichick move here, right? Trading down, accumulating extra picks. The Chiefs have been rumored to be trade-up candidates. We speculated receiver, edge defender. Nope. The third one we speculated was corner. And look, when we talked about Chiefs in their mock drafts, we gave them Kyer Elam a lot, and we gave them Kyler Gordon. Trent McDuffie, number 3 corner on the PFF draft board. They go up and get him at 21. Pretty good play.
Yeah, it feels like if you're going to make an aggressive move up the draft for a team like Kansas City, it's going to be for one of your biggest needs, right? It's going to be because you really need to replace the Tyreek Hill missing spot in your roster, and you don't love the receivers that are lower down. You just want to secure that guy. The move the Saints made for Chris Olave. Or the same thing with pass rusher, right? You don't love that second wave of guys. You want to go up and snag somebody like Jermaine Johnson or whatever it is. It's a little bit strange to do it for a position that, okay, sure, you can use a corner, but it's not the glaring biggest need you have on the roster. So I don't love it from that perspective. I also think it's a curious move in terms of style and body type and exactly the type of corner we're talking about. So Trent McDuffie may have the best tape of any cornerback in this class, but he's tiny, right? And NFL teams hate tiny corners because they don't have the length. They can't compete at the catch point as well. They get out-muscled by bigger receivers at the NFL level. Just all these things. It's a challenge. It's a problem, generally, playing at that kind of size. And when you look at McDuffie's tape, like, he visibly looks small on the tape, and sometimes that's not always a one-to-one. You get corners that aren't the biggest in the world, but they look bigger, they play bigger. It doesn't quite. McDuffie looks small already, right? And that's only going to get worse at the NFL level. So all of a sudden you're bringing in a small-bodied corner in a cornerback room that generally you skew the other way. Like, their corners are typically much bigger, 6 foot plus, 200-pound guys that are physical to the point where even their like slot guys like L'Jarius Sneed are big physical corners. So all of a sudden they might have like a giant bodied corner playing the slot and a slot bodied corner playing outside. It's weird.
So I love Trent McDuffie.
Yes.
Moves like a gymnast. He's graceful. He flies around the field, right? The size and the physicality is an issue. How much do you think the Chiefs are looking at their division where now Devontae Adams lives with the Raiders? You have Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler types with the Broncos, and you have the Chargers. They have Keenan Allen over there. And again, most football games aren't matchup basketball, right? It's not you cover him, you cover him. But how much do you look at the division and say they've got some really slick route runners over there? Now, catch point issues aren't going to be good when you face Devontae Adams because he's a route runner who also wins at the catch point, right? He's awesome there. But I wonder how much that might play in to the Chiefs division. Either way, I love McDuffie as a zone player. They play a lot of zone. They play a lot of off. They don't press a ton. He flies around the field, like I said, gracefully as a good tackler. So there's a lot to like about McDuffie. I think he'll fit okay. You're right, though. Like, L'Jarius Sneed's a bigger body who fits well in the slot. McDuffie can play both. But I do think McDuffie matches up well with some AFC West receivers.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I also wonder whether they just believe he's value at this point.
True.
We've seen him as a player that we were incredibly high on at PFF, but the NFL would generally be a little bit lower on because he doesn't fit those size and measurables templates that a lot of teams like corner. That being said, there might be teams that don't care about that as much and see him as the top 10 type of talent that you can make the case that he is. And if you're one of those teams in Kansas City and all of a sudden you see him start to slide as far as 20 and beyond, like, at some point that just becomes value to the stage where you're like, can we make a move and go up and get this guy? And while, data would suggest that generally trading up for anybody that isn't a quarterback is not a good move, I always have sympathy for the idea that, like, look, we have this guy graded way higher than this. And at some point it's worth the extra draft pick to jump up just a little bit.
Oh yeah, you'd get suckered in. You'd get suckered in the draft room. You'd say, there's my guy. Sure. I want to go get him. I mean, my model likes him. I'd say that thing too. Hey, the model likes him, right? Our projection likes him. I get it. But the Chiefs they have the extra draft capital, right? That's all a part of this equation. When you come into the draft with double-digit draft picks, you can pick your spots there. I don't think you always trade down. You don't want to end up with 20 picks in the draft. But if you have enough draft capital, you can make those moves. You move up when you need to, move down when you need to. Hey, I like it for the Chiefs. They still have to look at the defensive line. They still have to probably look at receiver later in the draft, but they make a move to go get our number 3 corner at a spot that I think is really good value. From a New England perspective, they continue to add value by trading down, picking up those extra picks. And I don't know if they had a perfect fit for them at 21, which is why you trade down.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City's issue now is they've got a backfill, right? They still have to hit wide receiver. They still have to hit edge rusher. They actually need to nail those picks now.
Chiefs getting aggressive. They trade up for cornerback Trent McDuffie.